Campbell.
And I'm Ron Jackson.
Cerebral conversations on disability liberation and integration. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cerebral Conversations, episode 15. This is Cerebral Conversations, conversations on disability liberation and integration. I'm CJ Campbell.
And I'm Ron Jackson.
Ron, it's time to get
Cerebral.
boom. So, share with me what your week has been like.
My week has been adventurous because I decided to attempt to join most of the rest of the world and find a job.
You know, because you're so lazy,
Yes.
living off of the government.
So lazy.
You're terrible.
Just,
So, what's that been like for you?
it's been frustrating because there's so much red tape involved. And there's so many hurdles to jump over in order to actually get to a place where I might be able to get a job.
Yeah, because as we've shared before in the show, it's not just simply about getting a job, but it's about getting a job that will not make you more poor in the end.
Yes.
Which is difficult.
You have to think about how much money the job will offer.
And what services
And
you'll
what
lose.
services will you lose if you take the job?
It is quite the mess. I mean, I'm running into a situation where I have a potential job offer, but, you know, it's kind of one of those things where, like, I don't know if I can take it because it is a really big risk. The most security, and not just security in the sense of like financial security, but just overall stability of my life has happened because I got on SSI and I'm able to have my own place and have a bit more control over my daily life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big risk. However, if you don't take a risk, then you're basically doomed to poverty. You can't logistically, in a practical manner, get married to someone unless they make no money too, and you both want to live in squalor.
Right.
So it's difficult.
You're basically pigeonholed if you don't at least take a risk and try.
Yep. I applaud you for trying, my friend. I know that you've been on the SSI poverty trap for forever, so
Yes.
I understand that it's probably a lot more scarier to you than it is to me.
Probably.
Probably, and I'm a big wuss.
I wouldn't say that. You have tattoos.
I have tattoos, it's true.
Yes.
So my week was rather boring. You know, other than like weird personal drama. Trust me, the one thing that you don't want is you don't want an ex-girlfriend texting you at like 2 in the morning. 'Cause it's almost never good.
I can't imagine that's ever a good thing.
Yeah, especially, trust me, some of the most hurtful things ever said to me, ever, were said in a text message, and it came out of nowhere.
Well, just remember, I love you.
I know you do. And you know what? I still love the ex-girlfriend. I think that she's a good person, so it's cool. But other than that, you know, basically it's just been, I said goodbye to a couple friends who are moving back to Georgia. And that was cool. Got to eat at, you know, your favorite restaurant, Culver's.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they're not very vegetarian friendly, so
No, they're not.
I just ate French fries and an insane amount of coleslaw. And then I'm a little lost in my life because I finished the series The West Wing, which is by far, as I said in the last episode, it's probably one of the the best writing on American television of all time. Such a good show. It ended well, even though the last few seasons didn't have Aaron Sorkin. Even though my favorite character died in real life during the last season, John Spencer, he died. That was pretty heartbreaking. Yeah, so I'm just I don't know what to do with myself. I'm kind of trying to find a new show that I'm really into. I started Orange is the New Black, which is made by the creator of Weeds. I'm not 100% sold on it, but it's got some really good character-based drama.
I don't like it.
Well, that's because you're a terrible person. We've been through this. Okay. You don't like Walking Dead.
No.
I tried to get you into, what did I try to get, was it The Killing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to get you to The Killing. You didn't like that. You liked Breaking Bad, because if you hated Breaking Bad, I just assume that you have no soul.
Yes, Breaking Bad is awesome.
Alright. But I really feel like we should probably get down to business.
I feel that way too, so let's do this.
Alright. So we're continuing our series on health and wellness. And this week, what are we going to really be talking about here?
We're going to talk more about sports and how they affect the overall wellness of a person with disabilities.
Yeah, so we're going to be focusing on adaptive sports, which is something I'm really new to for the most part.
Yes.
I knew that there was wheelchair basketball as a kid, but I could never really get into it. And then by the time I had the opportunity, I was, in my teenage years and dealing with my own issues, and I wasn't really interested. So, what are some of your favorite adaptive sports to watch?
I would say my favorite adaptive sport to watch is, like you said, wheelchair basketball, because one of my best friends growing up was really involved with the Rockford Chariots. So I got to see a lot of that going on as I went through school. Power soccer's fun to watch too.
Yeah, is it? I've never really watched it.
Yes, it's fun to watch them play.
I think some of my favorites, obviously, I think wheelchair basketball is one of the most interesting. Because everyone kind of gets basketball. So, I even know able-bodied brothers and sisters that really dig watching wheelchair basketball. Have you ever watched Murder Ball or wheelchair rugby?
When I was at the University of Illinois, they were just starting a wheelchair rugby club, so I got involved in watching that a little bit.
It's pretty interesting. The thing that kind of freaks me out, other than getting severely injured, is the breaking of your chair.
Yeah.
It's like our chairs are. My chair is probably about $4,000 to $5,000.
Yeah.
Your chair's like 10, right?
Yes.
It's insane. I'm just thinking, don't do that. You need that to live. Also, I really like a lot of the running, because some of our brothers and sisters who do the relay races and sprinting, their chairs are basically bikes.
Yeah.
And they have to change the speeds and it's super hard, and they just truck it. It's crazy.
Yes.
Now let's talk about some common adaptive sports, which is essentially kind of already what we've been talking about, our favorite sports. But probably the most well known is wheelchair basketball, and as you mentioned, a lot of our brothers and sisters that can't use manual wheelchairs are into power soccer. We also have one of our neighbors that's a Paralympian and is involved in the U.S. curling team.
Yes.
Which I didn't even know that was a thing, wheelchair curling.
I didn't think it was until I met our neighbor, because I thought that the ice would make it too hard for the chair.
Yeah.
But apparently not.
Yeah. And evidently he's really good at it because he's a Paralympian.
He's awesome.
Kind of a big deal. What's up, Tim?
What's up, Tim?
Now, so those are a lot of the common sports. I mean, there's also just, I mean, basically any sport you can practically think of. That there's an adaptive sport to it, which is what I've been finding.
Tennis is pretty common of late.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of things, and then I mean, obviously, I think the recent rise of Oscar Pistorius. I mean, before he allegedly killed his
The
girlfriend.
rise and fall of Oscar Pistorius.
He has really legitimized adaptive sports as people as real athletes. I mean, he actually qualified for the able-bodied Olympics
Yes.
and probably would have smoked a good majority of the field. And you know, one of the things that I think is incredibly important is just simply seeing these people as athletes. I think even as we mentioned, we call somebody who is involved in the Paralympics a, a para Olympian, but
Yeah.
really, I think that distinction's a bit unfair. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they should just be called an Olympian.
I feel that way too. They still have to go through the same training, the drug testing, all of that the able-bodied Olympians do. So why do we need a distinction?
And like I get it, it's because like para doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, but I think connotatively like oh, but they're not like in the real Olympics.
Yes.
In fact, a lot of people confuse the Paralympics with the Special Olympics.
Yes.
Which drives me insane.
Yes.
Special Olympics are for people with developmental disabilities, and they are pretty legit athletes too. I know some people that participate in Special Olympics, and they're in way better shape than I am.
Yeah, a lot of them do go beast mode when they compete.
Absolutely.
It's pretty inspiring.
Now, what do you think are some ways that able-bodied brothers and sisters and some opportunities for non-ambulatory crippled brothers and sisters to integrate and engage in athletics and seek out hobbies? That's something that like I can't speak of, but well, I guess we don't really need to include able-bodied brothers and sisters. I just like to include them. You're one of us. But what I more mean is for me, as being more ambulatory, being able to have more function in my appendages, there's a lot more opportunity for me.
Right.
But for someone like that's a brother or sister in your situation that doesn't have a lot of mobility, what do you think are some opportunities for non-ambulatory crippled brothers and sisters to seek out and integrate into athletics and hobbies?
One of the biggest opportunities that I see is to contact your local park district and see if they have something that you could get involved in, like a sports club or a power soccer team or something like that. So it's not so physical and it's more just an activity. You can also, if you're in school, you can also join like the booster club or something like that. So you can still be a part of the athletics, but there's not a physical element to it.
Yeah, I mean, I know that sometimes when you're kind of included into certain things, like I remember when I was in gym class, sometimes like I wouldn't be able to participate, so they would like you're the scorekeeper, and I was like, oh, this is so degrading.
Yeah.
But I mean, but like if you're involved with a team and you're kind of involved with the day-to-day interactions, like that stuff can be really helpful and powerful. Or I know that there's one guy. This isn't exactly the same situation, but I went to school with my friend Nick, who was autistic, and he couldn't really be a part of the team. I mean, he was fine physically, but he just couldn't handle the emotions of it. But he was like a genius when it comes to like stats and numbers. So he was their statistician, and he loved it. I think actually he still does it, even though he's been like 8 years removed from high school now.
Yeah, just find something that you enjoy doing, and you'll find that you feel better about yourself and about your integration with your community.
Also, something that I've kind of noticed just in life in general is that you can't wait for things to happen to you all the time. Is that sometimes you gotta just facilitate your own thing and figure it out. So if like you have hobbies, just figure out a way to engage in a group with it. Even if you play D&D, just find a group of friends, have them come to your apartment, have them come to your house, and just play D&D once a night. Do something.
And remember that if they like wrestling, they're probably awesome.
I agree.
I agree too.
All right, so real quick, we have some business to attend to.
Yes.
Ron, can you do me a favor and say hi to Jackie Kosmicki?
Hello, Jackie Kosmicki.
Jackie Kosmicki has asked us to give her a shout out on the show.
Yes.
And part of the deal is that then her dad, who happens to announce for the Denver Nuggets, will give us a shout out on Twitter.
Kind of a big deal.
So Jackie, keep it cerebral.
Keep it cerebral, Jackie, and thank you for the love.
Yeah, that'll be the end of this show, but you can email us your questions, comments, and feedback, because we're really, really looking forward to that at cerebralconversations@gmail.com. You can also check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/cerebralconversations. And we're on Twitter.
Yes, we have a handle.
@cerebralconvos. You can throw us your hashtags and whatnot. Also, you can check out my personal blog, The Running Search, at cjcampbell.tumblr.com. Ron, how can they be a part of your wonderful life?
You can find me on Facebook at Ron Jackson.
All right, everybody. So until next week, keep it cerebral.
Peace.